Can definitely see why they pick him up. Winter Wyvern for Navi is decent versus Terrorblade. A long time ago, it used to be one of those heroes to pick versus TB as has a bunch of illusions. You ulti one of his teammates or even himself next to those illusions and they just disappear. Splinter Blast is also very good to deal with the amount of illusions and the creeps surrounding them. So pretty decent Winter Wyvern pick. Soneko, when Winter Wyvern came out, I actually remember that Soneko was also, I believe, in Navi, but in that old Navi. Like he had his first iteration of Navi that he joined, and he just wrecked face with Winter Wyvern. So I'm gonna be uh, hyped to see him play this hero again.
One of the original proprietors of that hero, essentially. And it's kind of interesting the way that Wyvern affects Gambit's follow-on picks, right? Because they've got a big burst of physical damage. He says already going to be good against Terrorblade. The last thing you want to do if you're Gambit is pick another hero. You kind of want to, like, it does a lot of physical damage. You want to diversify your damage pool, right? It gets more magical, which then makes Razor's prioritization in a fight easy. It's just Terrorblade he has to worry about static linking.
That's true. Let's see what are they thinking for their fourth pick though? Gambit Esports. They need some mid hero, something that can deal with Razor or the Pango, and they go with the SF. I mean, I kind of forgot about it, but Gambit, they're one of those teams that actually brought back the Shadow Fiend into the meta with the Greaves build. Couple of raid bans, Greaves, and you just start having so much utility on the map from your mid laner that it's just way too hard to deal with. So they used to play this a lot in the minor.
Well, it's getting a lot of
actually,
respect bans, right, against them, just because
yeah,
of that.
they opened up. They would open up with Shadow Fiend in the first phase, and nothing like Clock, nothing that buffs up the Shadow Fiend incredibly well. Just a casual Shadow Fiend first phase, first pick. That was really interesting to see. Like some teams did manage to work around him and just pressure him a bit too hard. He either gets those Greaves too slowly or he gets them fast enough, but then his team is suffering, and then you just ignore that SF, and it looks like he isn't really doing a whole lot in these engagements. It's a hero that can deal with Razor 2 on mid, as like you have Razors to farm with, and if Razor is a little bit um, out of position, he can take those Razors to his face as well and die.
It makes you
Gambit ban
predictable as well, right? Because you static link, you can see that coming, and then you usually get the middle raise. If he commits, you're going to get the other raise. It's a lot of damage.
Yeah, and they ban out the Duza. Basically, FNG realizes that Navi, they need one hard carry, because right now these four heroes, they have the team fight and they have the fighting potential, but their late game is pretty much non-existent in comparison to Gambit's. And Gambit with that Bounty Hunter, this is going to be that position 3 bounty, I believe, played by Afterlife. You can also put the Bounty versus Pango if you wanted to and do some crazy aggro try. I don't know if you want to do that as Gambit, but Bounty Hunter does win quite hard versus Pango. So that would work for them too. They would win that lane, and then maybe Bounty would start rotating across the map, creating space. That Bounty Hunter basically brings you some more tempo, some more damage. It's a nasty hero to lane against at the moment because of Janada, Gold Steel, obviously, and the crits. And now it's on Navi to respond accordingly. So Morph has been banned out, Trolls banned out, Medusa banned out. What else is there? There's something like a jug in the pool, I suppose, but it's not the easiest jug game. There aren't many heroes that are left in the pool that are good on that tick all the boxes that they need ticked for Navi. They need late game, but also something that doesn't suffer way too hard versus Bounty.
You need a carry that doesn't really need much farm, and usually think of things like Chaos Knight, but that's not really
not good versus the SF either.
Yeah,
they have some AOE. I mean, it could work. Realistically, it's not too bad. It's Crystallizes hero. I've seen them play a lot of Clinks, but Clinks versus Bounty isn't that great. You're gonna be tracked all the time. Crystallize. What else does he play? Like he loves that Terrorblade, but that's been taken away from. And they go with an old school Phantom Lancer. Everything else has been banned out, so PL does make some sense. It's all right. it's all right versus the TB. TB used to be good, but his level 20 talent with reflection got a bit changed, like maybe a few months back. So PL is all right in that matchup. The problem for PL is that like, if he doesn't do well enough in the laning stage, he might just suffer way too hard. This TB can take full map control and all your objectives early on. But if you do have a good laning stage, if you do manage to like get that diffusal manta, Terrorblade is not a problem. You can burn down his mana, he won't be able to sunder, which is a nice thing to have on your side if you are Navi.
And that's the big logic behind that kind of matchup and how it changed between TB and PL, right? With the change to Sunder always costing mana now, you can't counter him with the diffusal building heroes like the Phantom Lancer. Although, one thing that's going to be interesting to see how this laning phase goes. I mean, Kulich is going to be getting up in your face and stealing your gold because, funnily enough, he doesn't have an ability that helps you run away. It kind of helps you run towards someone. Run towards the arms of a bounty hunter who wants to steal your gold. See how it goes, though. Bounty... I think one of the things that actually kind of makes it a frustrating lane at the moment is Bounty Hunter has so much armor to begin with, right?
Yeah, and he does go for that medallion phase boots build most of the time, too, so he gets even more armor. He gets 2 chainmails out of those 2 items, and right now he started with 9 tangos. That's stout shield. And PL, honestly, like, that hero doesn't fare way too well versus Bounty Hunter. It's not one of those heroes that just straight up dominate the Bounty Hunter. He's alright, but Bounty Hunter with Junada and the burst from Shuriken Toss can be a little bit problematic for PL to deal with.
Also love the 9 Tango build. You know, it's just him basically declaring straight away, I don't care how hard you hit me. I'm going to be up in your face all the time. It's worth it because I know I'll make my money back off these extra tangos that I purchased.
He's going to need his tiny there. Immersion is most likely going to start top just to secure these bounty runes, and then he might port or rotate back to bottom lane.
Maybe see if Blizzy does get a little bit overconfident. And sometimes the Pangoliers do, due to the fact they have that swashbuckle. They feel like they can go maybe a rune too far.
Yeah, he is going top. He's going to be playing versus Terrorblade and Oracle. And I believe his plan is basically going to be to creep skip. Offlane Pango, even after the recent buffs, isn't really my favorite thing. Some teams still roll it. I just like this hero on mid way too much. And way better than on that offlane. Afterlife is taking damage on the bottom lane.
He'll just walk this off. This is why you got the tangos though, Liz. To tank the attempts on his life and not get runes out of it. Pretty good the way Navi.
9 tangos, 3 runes for Navi, however.
How he intended things to go, but it looked like Blizzy wasn't being overly aggressive. No luck, no dice. It might hang around to start with. I guess sometimes as a Pangolier, like if you can get a swashbuckle onto the range creep to secure that, you're going to do it, and early on that's a big cooldown.
It's good if you get that first range creep, but at the same time, if you use that swashbuckle, you're kind of helping the enemy carry. Control the equilibrium of the lane a bit better. Blizzy,
damage taken.
Swashbuckles away. Yeah, at the same time, Afterlife on that bottom lane is basically trying to creep skip. He's gonna steal some gold from Chu, but he might be in problems here actually. He's gonna try to
holding on to the stun the whole time.
Yeah, he's dead. He's being hit by these towers. 1 stun from Chu, and he's dead. Yeah, this is the first blood. They share the kill.
Yeah, 1 shot due to the tower. Thanks, tower. But yeah, that was. I mean, you don't usually see many offlaners succeed when they make that attempt without a support nearby.
Well, Blizzy is doing it. He does not have Swashbuckle to work with though.
All right.
He might fall too.
So another educational lesson from the other offlaner. These pulls not so good if you are alone.
Yeah, so these pulls usually like worked long time ago, but right now it's a little bit harder as you have 2 supports rotating in and they know what they need to do to stop that from happening. It's basically that people have adapted. It's not that those pulls are much harder to do. It's just that people have adapted and they know what they have to do against them. At the same time, though, in some games, even when you mess up the pull, it's worth it because the enemy is going to be pushing in. Sadly for Pangolier, that's not happening. Dahak, with his Terrorblade, he had 11 armor early on, so he was able to tank the creep wave and just keep the equilibrium in a proper position. And because of that, like, Dahak is getting all the gold, all the CS, all the experience, while Pango is level 1. Bounty Hunter, however, is also. So these are going to be two very starved offlaners. I have to say that, though, that like, having a starved Pango is better than having a starved Bounty Hunter. Pango needs just level 6, and he already helps your team out. With the Rolling Thunder, he's already like, he already brings some utility to your team. Bounty Hunter, however, he needs items. Like, that track is not as strong as it used to be.
It's not literally really defined by gold. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fair way of looking at it. Of course, it's a question of how long it will take Pangler to get those levels. And I guess it also comes down to what's happening with the rest of the team, right? Because if you do drag this out really late, and this is kind of the status quo of the game, you're talking about a terrible. Yes, there's a PL on the other side, but TB, I think there isn't really too much of an argument that he tends to get these bigger power spikes sooner than the Phantom one.
Of course. With TB, with meta, you can push a bit faster too. He needs drums, Yasha ready.
Mid lane's not going too bad for Afon. Got 12 CS now, keeping close to Razor, who did get a lot of denies admittedly, but still, you expect an SF to suffer on those first few waves.
Yeah, and this SF, he's kind of fine with it, as he can just go to the jungle and catch up at any given point. Bottom lane, they have a dust on Chu, so Afterlife, he's going to probably force them to use it. Let's see. Or he has boots. Perhaps he's going to try to just run out.
Oh, Blizzy won't be so lucky. Yeah, he goes down, and Afterlife is surrounded. He's going to try and use that infamous juke spot, but they know. They'll find him, they'll kill him off, and it's a kill for Crystallize. Yeah.
He was dusted, so it was easy. At the same time, we're going to see a rotation going mid by Gambit. They want to help out the SF a little bit. Magical might go for the static link, and if he does, we're going to see Immersion just instantly running in.
Level 2 Raze. If you can hit all 3, it should be a kill.
It is difficult. He has raindrops, he has fairy fire. Someone would rotate, so instead of going for that kill, they decide to go top, pressure Blizzy perhaps a bit more. But Blizzy did a good thing. He pulled, and now because of that side pull, he's going to get some experience under the tower. At the same time, it's good for Dahak, as he's just farming both the creep wave and the pull now.
Meanwhile, Kudlis just was looking for the core in the bot lane, but Sneko's just toying him at this stage. Just dragging him away from the creep wave and ensuring Crystallize gets all the gold he can need. And then you look at this Bounty Hunter, he's level 3, he's only got 3 CS so far. Angelier, however, has none.
Yeah, Pango sitting on 1 CS right now and 1 deny. He's getting something at least right now. Yeah, he's going to get some experience. Yeah.
They finish him off. It's 10 mana until you got the Avalanche. Chu could turn around for the Impale, but he's a little bit paranoid. Toss across, and nice Impale stun coming out, so Kulich can't finish the kill.
Yeah, pretty well played by Nyx. Didn't try to turn, and Impale just waited for the toss to happen, which is a little bit scary, but at the same time, he knows his abilities very well. He knows his strengths, and he uses them to the full extent. They are rotating mid for this SF, though.
A little bit awkward to try and reach from this angle, but the Razor's coming out, forced to fight. Magical moves in, and Afon getting low on HP. Can't get the kill on the Razor, but they will get the kill into him.
I believe FO, on their latest minor, wasn't... Actually, yeah, that was the case. So Gambit was playing without FO, they were playing with FN in their latest minor attempt, and they ended up being second. So it wasn't really that bad for them. At the same time, now FO is back. He was playing WSG, so it's going to be interesting to see how well he comes back into this team. As before he went away, they were doing quite well. Like, they had some issues, they have some problems, but at the same time, it's not terrible. Like, they're not a tier 1 team, but they're definitely trying to get there. They're on the edge of being it. Like, after VP, I'd say Gambit is up there in the CIS. Like, the closest team, the closest replica of VP in the CIS scene, I believe, is Gambit.
Yeah, especially after Team Spirit disbanded, right? They were kind of like the ones we called mini VP for a while, but with the introduction of FNG to Gambit, it seemed to give them what they were kind of missing. It brought the team together, and I think he was the perfect captain to fit their playstyle.
Yeah, it's basically FNG. Like, he's the... Like, you have one solo captain on the side of VP, and then you have the other one in the form of FNG in the CIS, and whoever these two captains get in their stacks, they're usually the top contenders. Afterlife, bottom lane.
Yeah, he's gone. No escape from that. They always bring the dust.
He's not really contending. He's not really trying to contest this lane at all. PL is having the freest time of his life. 2 raid bans, power threads. Like as a bounty hunter, like you're feeling pretty bad right now, as you can be zoned out by Crystallize alone. This Winter Wyvern can do whatever.
It's not as funny as the situation for Blizzy. He only just surpassed the net worth of FMG. Avalanche.
Yeah, he's gonna be tossed back, it seems.
Yep.
Can they?
Toss across. The swashbuckle on cooldown for a long time. He just got a little bit of gold and he's just about to lose it. Merchant is in trouble though. Magical arrived and Razor will get the kill into Tiny. So vengeance is had.
Yeah, that's a good rotation by Magical, getting like that shrine usage into a kill. At the same time though, SF is farming mid and bottom lane is being pushed out by Crystallize. They have that catapult to work with.
It's nice idea actually from Razor though, because he has that decent sized net worth league, just trying to actually exploit that. Because you know, if you just stay in a farming game against an SF, you eventually lose as a Razor. Like, there's no way you can keep up with the flash farm from the Razors.
And the first tier 1 is taken down by NaVi. Even though they are not the team that has this big utility core, they take down that tier 1 on the bottom lane because Bounty Hunter just had way too difficult of a time defending it. The problem for Bounty is, if he wants to def it, he needs to go in, shuriken toss, and then run out, right? But you can't use your Shadow Walk if you do that, as the creeps are gonna lose aggro. And even if you do use that Shadow Walk, there's Soneko with the dust. So like, so far he's had a rough lane for sure. Blizzy, even though he's under-leveled, he didn't lose that tower. Like, he's level 4, while Bounty's level 5. He didn't lose the top tower, so he's doing a bit better.
He basically still has that safety net. He still has that means for which the support can back him up if things get a little bit divey in this top lane. The hack has just taken the top net worth spot. It's basically bouncing back and forth between him and Crystallized regularly at the moment.
Bounty Hunter top lane Blizzy, like they wanna burst him down with False Promise and with Purifying Flames and Shuriken Toss.
I get him Shuriken Toss. Oh no, he had the stick. He was holding on. They do force out 2 TPs. It looks like they're gonna follow the Bounty Hunter wherever he goes. Yeah,
so basically, I think FNG, well, Afterlife did it a bit too soon. But I guess Shadow Walk was running out, and that's why he did it. If FNG is close enough to use the Fortune's End as well, if he purges the Pango, then they definitely get him. But they didn't really manage to use all their spells there. And the Bounty Hunter's rotation goes really with no effect.
And this one won't either. 2 hours of sentry down, so they know about Bounty Hunter. For some reason, Wyvern's running around with Magical Salve for a good minute or so now.
Yeah, that's a level 5 Bounty Hunter though, rotating across the map. And that's not a position 4 Bounty Hunter, that's your core. Bottom lane, Blizzy.
Playing risky. Gets pretty low, but they can't finish him off. He'll back away the tower. No one's picked up these bot runes yet though. Just sitting there.
Yeah, basically Oracle wanted to leave the runes and get the kill with the Purifying Flames, as he basically needed 1 more nuke on Blizzy and he'd die. Blizzy just trying to get whatever he can on this map. The same goes for Bounty Hunter.
This continues at this pace. I really don't want to see the numbers for PL's tower damage, because that's the second tower he's just ripped through.
Yeah, and he's actually higher net worth than Terrorblade. Terrorblade, who has used his Metamorphosis right now.
He's going to get more money as well. They see Bounty Hunter. Doppelganger forward. We'll better kill him off. Toss shouldn't change that. 1 more hit, and he'll find it.
Crystallize is just having a great game so far.
Pretty quick defusal this Ray as well.
Bottom lane, Blizzy, FNG does see him.
Yeah, and he bought basically a solo kill because the hack was just hitting the tower the whole time.
Yeah. So they take down the tier 1, they take down Blizzy, and it's a freebie. Overall, these 2 offlaners are struggling so hard. Bounty doing a little bit better when it comes to experience, but not a whole lot better.
It's the story of the game right now. Which offlaner can be oppressed more? This is basically last year's meta, really. We've just seemed to have gone back in time.
Well, even before last year, if you remember last year, it was the meta of DKs offlane with Chen supports and Tinies. This is like even 2 years back when Trilanes were a thing all the time. It's interesting to see how they shift. Top lane Bounty Hunter.
I don't know. I kind of say about half a year ago, it was more. I remember the statement being said to me by a few players. If my
lane up on Ninja.
Are they going again? They really are. When is Curse coming out? I'll fall back away with false promise. But I was gonna say, like, I remember the good old meta where people would say, if my offlaner hasn't got 10 deaths by the 10-minute mark, I think he done a good job. Like there was no attention, there was no love given to offlaners. They were basically just
they were basically sacked. They were basically listen. It's people adapted to that. Everyone was playing tri-lanes, and teams adapted to having these offlaners that aren't gonna have a lot of farm on that offlane. That aren't gonna be able to actually approach the creep wave, but that are still gonna get some experience, and then somehow, because the heroes work that way, they're still gonna be able to do something in the mid game. However, I think NaVi has a much better offlaner for that job in this match. Let's see though, bottom lane.
And that offlane's gonna get value. They find the hack. He has the Sunder. He wants to use it right now. We'll throw under Blizzy, but the stun's gonna come out with the Impale. Gonna chase through. Cold Embrace protects Blizzy. The hack won't be so lucky. He will go down. And all the Kulich, they dusted him. They didn't quite see him though. The Avalanche is gonna come out. Tiny down in the middle of this mess. Tosses up in the air. But when it comes down, Magical's gonna find the double kill. They will be able to find FNG as well as they pursue through. The Impale is on point. And yeah, that is gonna be a triple kill for the Razor. Spikes his net worth up beautifully.
Yeah, that's a triple kill for NaVi, and this is like the power of Pango versus the power of Bounty Hunter. Like, Bounty Hunter goes there, I mean, tracks one hero and uses his Junada, steals some gold, but that's about it. Pango, however, gives them full control over that Terrorblade, just stunning him one time after another. Magical gets like full static link off of him, minus 120 damage or something from the Terrorblade. He uses Thunder, they do take down the same Pango, but they lose the Terrorblade and they lose 2 more by his side. So overall, my point was, before this team fight broke out, is that if the meta is, or if your plan is to sack your offlaner, at least give him a hero that's gonna be useful after having 0. And Pango with Bracer, with Windlace, isn't in the perfect spot. You'd rather have a Pango that has more. But it still does more work than the Bounty Hunter with phase boots, you know? Like, this track has been nerfed quite hard, and it's giving you little to no gold if you aren't Bounty Hunter. Plus, the track range has been reduced. There are many reasons why this hero became a core and isn't really picked a lot on position 4 any longer.
That's really the story of the game, is just like they have basically both teams were happy to play that old style of offlane where you have that guy. And as you say, Pangle is better dealing with that.
Bounty, bottom lane, speaking of him.
Well, he's always involved in what's happening in the game in some formal way. Just not the way he'd like to be. Is they're going to try and chase him down. The track does make him move fast, but they're going to win his curse for this. They got the Roaring Thunder as well. They'll happily throw it out. Pure kill onto Older Kulich. Still hasn't been impressed enough, they feel.
He dies here, but honestly, that is better. Like, with that, he has contributed more to his team than with that last team fight in which he didn't die. Because for that they had to use the Winter's Curse, they used Vendetta, they were chasing him across the map, they wasted a little bit of their time, you know, and the rest of his team was farming meanwhile. So overall, that like, if he continues at least doing that, I think he's gonna contribute to his team a bit better than just trying to farm and come back into the game. Just making NaVi chase him across the map, I think, is the best thing that he can do.
Cool. A lot of time. They found Chu. They tracked him up as well because he came under a sentry. They were expecting him to go behind the tower, and as a result, FNG gets himself a kill.
Yeah, FNG is doing very well. I love how he's carrying salves across the map all the time. We see that very often from Oracles now. Just bring those salves so you have it with the False Promise. Can't be broken. Use the False Promise on someone. Salve him up. He's most likely gonna survive through the False Promise and also be healed up to full.
Seems like Gambit, they're reading those moves correctly. Despite how the lane phase went, they're doing decent work to recover. As you said, Bounty Hunter just wasting time where he can. Afon does have those Guardian Greaves almost complete, 500 gold short. And Well, the hack is falling a little bit behind this Phantom answer, but considering how this game opened up, I guess that was to be expected running into this phase of the game.
Mm-hmm.
The drums, maybe he can get active soon. I mean, Crystallize does now have the diffuser, which is a huge power spike for Phantom answer. They're just going to give over their tier 1 for free. NaVi open up the map. When do we see teams approach Roche in this scenario? Like, NaVi, it doesn't take too much from this point on for them to just say, we can take Roche, get an Aegis, right?
Their lineup isn't really good at taking Roche, so I doubt we're going to see that from them. The same goes for Gambit. I think Gambit has a little bit of an easier time in the pit. Courier, there we go. That's the contribution that we needed. Not really the best contribution from your offlane bounty hunter, but it's something. He's doing work, so it's not too bad.
I mean, I instantly looked at Chu because I was like, oh, bounty hunters don't snipe couriers anymore. They're too busy just stealing gold from people. But this one, he just has to steal from the enemy team in a different way.
Yeah, you forget a little bit. The hero isn't played a lot that way. You forget that he's gonna be running around and just trying to snipe your courier, and you give a lot of gold and a lot of experience to him if he does get that courier. So.
And now he's just gonna harass top. He could just snatch some gold away from Crystallize.
He
can actually drop this. Yeah,
yeah,
he will. He loses all his mana though because he basically used most of it. Just enough to TP away, but the Impale stun comes out. Chu instantly punishes him for that.
Yeah, not really certain that was worth it. Perhaps if they got some team fights on the bottom lane without this PL, that would be Suneko.
Well, they will now. They're going to go on Suneko, get him low. Cold Embrace comes out. Blizzy covering him, but it's not enough. He will still go down. Magical moving in. Stealing away a lot of damage. False promise to pit onto Aphon. Used up in the air, comes down and raises dead. Can't handle the overwhelming damage coming out from the side of Gambit.
Alright, so they do get a good fight off of that. PL wasn't able to join in, obviously, as his port was cancelled. Because of that, they do take down the Razor and the Winter Wyvern, which isn't really too bad. There is a Manta completed on Crystallize. He just needs that courier, though. That courier that he isn't able to get. It's dead.
Be with him for another minute and a half, either. Chu has been seen. Spike Carapace. They're just going to back away, though. They respect the Gambit. They could probably take down Crystallize at this stage. He's not unkillable yet. Although he will once he completes that heart, which is already on his way towards. Worrying as well, because actually, if we look across at the hack, I mean, he's got these drums. He's found some value out of his good. He's going towards the BKB next, which is going to be a big power spike. It is a concern as to if you're going to have enough damage to clear out the PL illusion.
Mm-hmm. They don't really have a lot of AoE, as you just stated, for those illusions, and PL is having a blast. He's having a really good game. I'm surprised no one brought him his Manta recipe from the base. They had some heroes that he has to wait the full courier respawn duration to get it instead.
Chu could have been his scorer, but he's too busy snooping out looking for anything to snap constantly.
Follow Ace, just giving us info that the shrines are on 100% HP.
Aw, thanks. Russian casters always use. Usually it's the Chinese casters that tell us that. I feel like it's a casting meme that I'm missing or something. I'll tell him back. There we go.
Good job.
It's all about communication between the casting communities. You know, cross language barriers, just like ping. You know, it transcends English, Russian, whatever you speak. For these pushes, Crystallize, get this tower. I'm telling you, he's going to have the highest damage dealt to buildings in the entire game by the end.
Wyvern is there, ready and waiting.
Discuss the hack, beating the crap out of himself. Roland Thunder being charged up. They're going to move him right now. Do they have the damage to get rid of him? No. False Promise comes out. Sunder as well. Yule's up in the air. Razor can't do anything just yet. It's going to come down. Still sapping away that damage to hack. Manta's up, trying to fight with Blizzy. Oh my god, he just disappears though. Just on the edge of the abyss and then hit for the final time. He does die off. FNG trying to get out of the tree line. Won't be successful as Crystallize hits too damn hard.
No, the situation that Gambit are in right now is looking a little bit scary. I believe this Terrorblade usually has to be in front of the PL, not playing from behind a little bit like he is right now. Suneko again porting in perfect Arctic Burn over the trees to get that proper Winter's Curse on the Terrorblade, not even with Atrolance, not even with Blink, nothing like that. He just positioned himself very well, moved very well through the fog to get the proper initiation. And that Pango again, we see the difference. Like that Pango was the hero that allowed them to control that TB for a bit longer so that they can kill him. While at the same time, Bounty Hunter and his...
Look at the XP difference as well.
Game isn't great.
Because he's just been roaming around as his bounty, just looking for anything. He is matching what Chu is doing. The problem is Pango now has that level 2 ultimate, more damage dealt. And it can't be underestimated the value you get out of the talents as Pangolier levels up, right? He's already got the mana regen. Soon, he'll probably take the role of Thunder duration, as a lot of Pangoliers seem to be doing at the moment. Just understandable. You don't have the largest mana pool. And he wants to go for that pipe. Uh oh. They see someone. Bounty Hunter found again. The Impale won't land, but the Roland Thunder will collide with his face and signal his death. Or will it? He's running pretty fast.
Facebook's drums and no secondary dust. He's fine. He just bought his team a lot of time, and this is the impact that he is making across the map. Honestly, like this second or third time that he's doing something similar to this, it's just slowing down the enemy team that's on the advance a little bit, just making them chase him across the map is pretty good.
No, he's a pretty rich pos for, so if you look at his value compared to the Nyx, who's still not managed to get his hands on his gold talent. He's dreaming of the day when it finally happens. Maybe you just take some solo bug time, right?
Oh, he has to be careful here. They might find him.
They have. He can't get out this time. Shield Crash is enough this time around to kill him off.
Yeah, he kind of pushed it to the edge a little bit there. He survived the first time they went for him, but they had that one sentry that scouted him out a little bit earlier. They expected that he's going to be around waiting for the courier too, and because of that they do get him down. Basically, what you do as Bounty Hunter in these situations is you read the map, you see where they have the most heroes on the map, and then you stand in a line between the courier and the place where the heroes are. So you basically... Oh,
Pipe Blizzy. Or not. Caught Embrace and the pipe protect him in immersion. He thought it would be an easy kill, but this pipe pickup has just changed the game for Blizzy. Was looking for more but won't find it. Oracle is already far gone out of there.
What looked like a simple pick-off turned into a counter kill, and now that PL is moving closer and closer towards his heart. He needs like, what, 200 gold more. He's gonna have a full heart completed, while Terrorblade has Manta and BKB. And his port broken. They're rotating
actually, yeah. Chu's just waiting in the doors. He's like, well, eat up, lad. San's gonna come out. Roll Thunder as well. They want to make sure he doesn't get a Sunder and a BKB out. Magical chasing across. Chuked pretty well. I mean, he moves pretty fast in fairness. There's a stun. Follow up stun with the Impale. Can he even get the Sunder off? No, he can't. He goes down.
Yeah, I had that BKB, but...
Oh, they're not done.
Really... Yeah. Bounty is caught mid. He was trying to kill off Sanoiko.
It's a bold attempt next to tier 2. Although Shadowfiend did manage to at least get the tier 2 top in the midst of all that.
The problem with this Shadowfiend though is if you're playing around SF that's going for utility, that's going for Crimson and Force Staff, you know, you want to be around him, you want to be strong as a team. Like, if you buy Greaves on SF, then your team is just running across the map, dying in some, like FNG right now.
Yeah. Blink Dagger shown by Chu.
Yeah, dying alone in some weird situations, in some like pick-offs where they're just caught alone. Your SF and your build isn't really working. That's the thing. It's not that SF is playing poorly. It's that his team is not playing around the build that he's opted for. He'd much rather have some farming build right now, or something that's going to allow him to scale a bit better later on in the game. Don't get me wrong, this is still potent, this is still good. Once he gets that BKB, he's going to be able to stand in front of these fights, but it might be a bit too late, as Aegis is going to be claimed by NaVi too. And Gambit, they're not even thinking about contesting it.
That's kind of a big problem with the way that Gambit are just having to play this game, right? You don't have any inherently good solo split pusher who can just try and push the lanes and get out, like a Natus Brock, for example. And as you said, this SF's got a build that says he wants to, you know, be grouped up with the team. You can't really have a Terrorblade split push alone against this lineup. He'll just get caught out. And your Bounty Hunter, he doesn't split push. He just kind of stalks people. That creepy guy on the internet who wears the hood, the sunglasses, and you can never identify him.
Yeah, it was true. Like he was on point when it comes to preventing them from getting out of these split pushes. Yeah, you can split push, but Nyx is there to break your port. And if that happens, you just die afterwards. However, Navi just going high ground.
Why not? Crystallize has that heart. He has a second life on top of that. Has a lot of health to try and burn proof your Gambit.
Yeah, there is a big KB on SF and the Terrorblade.
So
they can definitely fight this.
But down to half HP, has to back up. Doppelgangers will just come out so they can keep whittling away at the buildings. You need to try and inject yourself at the back of Navi, right? Try and actually find that pick off behind the Wyvern especially. And now just gonna jump in. Avalanche gonna come up. Spike Carapace counter though with the Impel follow up. The Rolling Thunder. Immersion caught with his pants down outside the base. They will punish it. The false promise comes out. Full stuff up at the high ground, but now you don't have a false promise. Needed to do that though. Now the Winner's Curse as well. They're not getting anywhere. Shadowfiend in a lot of trouble here. They're burning through his mana supply. What can he do? He's got the BKB, but stunned up. He still can't use the BKB to hack. Trying to fight up against this. Yule's coming out from Razor to protect himself from the damage coming out from the Terrorblade. And now continues work, but the Cold Embrace is going to be there. Tasting pretty deep. Afon just harassed back to the fountain. He had to use BKB fully defensively. Now tossed up in the air. Magic coming down. He's in trouble, but just barely still alive. He will finally tick out as they find him. Oracle doing enough damage with the Purifying Flames and now pursuing for more. Trying to punish this out. Seneko gets low. The final right click comes out and kills him off. There's going to be a buyback coming out from Tiny. They want to keep on punishing because they don't actually have a way of dealing with Crystallize still. They're going to get him low. They fought around him well, but he still has this Aegis and is still pretty bulky. Spike Carapace coming out, trying to slow things down. Buyback comes out from Wyvern. Aegis has finally been popped. Chasing the back line. Blizzy getting low, and there it is. A Kulich with a big crits, enough to bring him down. Crystallize needs a doppelganger pretty early and look to escape. But now, what does he do? He says, okay, if you guys really want to fight me, I'm happy to hang around. The Avalanche will slow him down a bit, but Crystallize knows he has no escape plan, so the best he can do is try and get a kill into Afon. But they know, they kite him out, they kill him off, they do lose the lane, but Gambit hold the base.
Yeah, they hold the base, they use some buybacks, which isn't the best for them, but overall they hold the base, which is very important. They don't lose all three sides versus the Aegis on the PL. They actually take down the PL twice there with the Aegis. And Winter Wyvern also, Soneko, he buybacks thinking that he might be able to help the PL. He just doesn't get there on time as he had no tier 1s to port to. Overall, Gambit, they played that all right. But I believe it's Navi that kind of went too YOLO a little bit. They weren't too disciplined with the way they took that engagement. I believe if they just took the side and went back, there isn't a whole lot Gambit could do about that. But instead they started kind of diving, you know. They felt a little bit too comfortable. And because of that, they do suffer a hit when it comes to their net worth and when it comes to a couple of these skills that were given to Gambit.
Gives a catch up with the Hack, who is opting for the big crit build this time around.
Yeah, he's gonna be somewhat of a glass cannon. The problem for going for this build is the fact that Phantom Lancer is already building into a butterfly. So you have to kind of commit into an MKB, I believe, afterwards with TB. You basically are waiting to see what Crystallize buys next, and then you act accordingly.
Yeah, you can't afford to be that far behind. Like, if you did commit fully dataless, and then you suddenly see that butterfly come out, you know you're a few minutes of farm behind the Fountain Lancer, and in that window of opportunity, Navi could easily take a second prize.
Yeah, he does have it queued up, and this is worrisome a little bit. The Hack, he has the full Daedalus queued up, but I don't think he buys it. He has to wait at least to have buyback at least. Just wait to have buyback for the next fight, see what happens in that fight. If you die, you can buy back. If you don't, you can perhaps commit into buying full Daedalus.
Oh, I see a Kulich. Stun him up, kill him off. Been an easy one to finish. Takes a little bit of time as Bounty Hunter has gotten quite tanky. And it seemed to be this deep ward they had. You can see it near the shrine that NaVi had placed earlier.
Poor Bounty Hunter giving his life for Vision once again. You'd rather have your position 5 doing that, but not your offlaner for sure. But that Bounty Hunter, he realizes that he's not having the best game of his life, so even giving some info to his team, allowing them to fall back without dying is good enough. Even if you do die as that bounty hunter that has like what 7.4k net worth, you're lower than your position 4.
Gambit, well, they've lost their last safe haven of farm. There really is nowhere they can easily retreat to and try and find gold. And if you look at the hack, actually, he bought the recipe. He's 100% in on the data list.
He bought the recipe. He did not buy the demon edge yet, but that's because he can't approach the side shot, right? He's too afraid.
I think he wants to keep for the buyback, maybe. Like, this should buy enough time for him to actually farm that up. But at the same time, this does definitely mean you're going to be an item behind. As you look across the Phantom Lancer, Crystallize, he almost has the gold he needs for the Butterfly.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Think about the timings, like the potential timings matchups. I don't think you'd be able to farm an MKB before the next Roche is up. You need some kills, and then maybe it's feasible, but that's a big ask.
He bought the Daedalus. He has it. Full Daedalus completed. Needs 700 gold now for buyback. If they manage to take him down, if they somehow manage to smoke up and kill him, that would be huge for NaVi. That could even be game as Terrorblade would be out for quite a long amount of time.
Does have a BKB though, and he always has FNG babysitting. It's a hard kill to find. Really, like, that's the thing about Gambit, because Bounty Hunter's playing this kind of style. The way he's playing, how low level he is. He's not really a kill of opportunity. He doesn't really open up much for NaVi.
Look at the smoke. Soneko is in position to use that curse if he wants to. This smoke is very, very aggressive coming from NaVi. As bottom lane is pushing in, so if bottom lane is pushing in, Gambit should know 100% what NaVi is doing. Someone has to deal with it. Someone has to deal with bot lane. If no one is defending it, then they are smoked. They are lurking about. They're just waiting for someone to pop their head out so that they get a free kill. However, same goes for Gambit. They just smoked up before pushing out top lane.
Someone's going to try and push down now. The hack is in the mid lane. They want to see if someone's lingering around on that high ground after they see Pangolin bomb. Doesn't look like they'll connect though. Razor a little bit too fast out of there. And I do believe he's gone for it. Neko, he's 10 gold short of the Blink Dagger. This could be really big, actually. You can just get the perfect Witness Curse now. It's not like you're limited. We've seen him actually do a lot of good Witness Curses without any sort of mobility items. Roche. What's spawn going to be? 1 minute. 1 minute until it's up. So Gambit, they don't know that it's not up because they couldn't scout out the pit. NaVi did, though. Or will right now, as Soneko will realize. It's high ground we were talking about from the previous series, the backfire team, but you don't really have that kind of choke control that was there last game. In fact, NaVi are the ones that have that with the Winter's Curse, with the Roll of Thunder from the Pangolier. They would love to fight you around these stairs, no matter where it is in the map.
Still can't underestimate the damage that can come from the hack and his Daedalus build. It is pretty legit, but if he gets caught first, even with the Oracle around, it's gonna be very difficult for him to dish out any sort of damage. A good combination that NaVi has got as well is the Winter's Curse with this Diffusal from Phantom Lancer. You just curse someone and you take down his mana completely. Someone like TB can definitely struggle quite a lot against that. It's one of the reasons why he still holds on to that magic wand in the game. He just needs the extra mana. Even that 15 mana to use the Sunder is not there if you are just being hit by Diffusal, Crystallize. They smoke up. They want to fight this pit, and this is going to be the decisive fight, I believe, Pigeon. Let's look.
Most likely. I think a big part of it is going to come down to Blizzy's positioning as well. But look at Chu's positioning, though. The stun's going to come out instantly on the Shadow Fiend. They have to use the False Promise already. He's going to BKB and go for the Requiem, but that is fully defensive. He just wants to get the hell out of dodge. He'll try and chase away, but they found the Terrorblade. He's got no mana. BKB, but the hack. He's going to go down. Now FNG, he knows he's dead. Found and banged to right, so head straight back towards the pit. But not before they try and secure a kill to Kulich. Used up in the air, and when he comes down, there's a party. But not the kind that you have, like, hope to actually run into in the middle of the night. Wait, Crystallize, no? He found Afon. Afon hung around. He got greedy. He will find the kill to Wyvern, but he'll give his life for it. TP out by Immersion, and they'll interrupt it. It's going to be a team wipe. Gambit lose everyone. And NaVi, all it cost them was the sacrificial lamb and Senego.
That's a full wipe right there. SF, this late on in the game with the Greaves. Yeah, he uses that Requiem in front of all of them, but it doesn't really matter as they all popped BKBs, and then you lose the Terrorblade too, as they just collapse upon him. And now you use your buybacks, but you don't have the BKBs. Your Terrorblade doesn't have meta, so even if he buybacks, he's not gonna do a whole lot in this fight. And this is a side. This is at least a side for NaVi.
I mean, do they stop there, man? You got a 40-second window, and look how fast they just run down these buildings. The Glyph's gonna come out. That might buy enough time, but you don't have shrines, so the worst-case scenario for NaVi is they just go and Roche.
Yeah, that's true. They're gonna fall back. Like, some teams would remain around, try to take down that full side. Like, even, to be honest, even not going for Roche instantly shows a little bit of just eagerness to end this game a little bit too soon. Going for that Roche first is the safer play always. It's the disciplined play. They decided to go for Raxes, they didn't get him, and now they're risking this fight again around the pit. A fight that they won quite hard the last time, so I mean, they are not worried by any case, but it can always happen. An outplay can happen around the pit.
Oh, the hack's going to go in the Asti. The stun's going to come. Chu in the exact same location as last time. The false promise, the BKB is out. Things are lagging up a little bit. The winner's curse is going to be there. He's stuck on this spot. His team is split up from him, and he might be in trouble. The Sunder comes out, but Crystallize doesn't give a damn. He runs him through and kills him off. The Guardian Greaves can't protect him. The Requiem can't either. Aphon can't even protect himself, as he'll be next on the hit list. And they one by one will fall to the overwhelming might of NaVi's lineup as Immersion goes down. A double kill for Crystallize. The buyback on Terrorblade will achieve nothing. I mean, he's got Metamorphosis in 10 seconds. GG comes out.
Yeah. Cho just played these last two fights perfectly well around the pit. I mean, it's not too hard for him. It's much harder for Gambit to fight around the pit. You called it before as well. There's a Wyvern, there's a Pango. There's even that Nyx, so they love these choke points. While Gambit, the best that they can do is just run straight into the pit, and that was always interrupted by Chu's Impales, which were on point. Like last time, it was the SF that suffered. This time, it was the Terrorblade that suffered. Like, I'm praising Chu, but in all honesty, how I feel about this game, I think Gambit had not truly a drafting issue, but they didn't set up their lanes accordingly to their draft. They tried to make some sort of a tri-lane around Immersion and FNG, which did work out. They did punish Blizzy quite hard. But Blizzy, with his Pango, he does a lot more than Afterlife with his position 3 Bounty Hunter with no farm, right? I think they have to address this situation a little bit, and they have to think about how they set up their lanes if they want to play something as greedy as a Bounty Hunter. If Bounty Hunter isn't that hero that's hunting your supports minute 12 to 14 and is a hero that just has boots and raindrops, then why even commit a lane to him? Why put that hero on position 3? Like, he's completely useless afterwards, and it really did show quite a lot in this match.
They seem to be taking the interchangeable 3-4 to the extreme there. And, you know, actually, screw it. Despite all this, I don't know about you, I feel like I need to give a shout out to Chu, because that felt like an MV. The last two Roche fights, that felt like the MVP material, because that was so definitive. It screwed Gambit completely with the same position twice. I mean, Gambit, you don't expect that twice in a row like that, right?
I mean, if you are NaVi, you don't expect it. Like, you fools, you're gonna do the same thing again. Sure, come at me. Come. I'm gonna be happy to impale you. Hey, that was, I don't know, that was interesting, but you can really see the desperation in Gambit. They just wanted to make something happen around this Greaves or Afro Ninja, but like it was just never there. Like, these team fights around the pit, like, they would maybe work 10 minutes ago, but not at this point, and especially not with an SF that itemized into like these mid-game items. You have the Greaves, you have the Force, you want to be fighting, you want to be pushing, but you don't have a team to do that with. I think that's the biggest issue that they had in this match. It's not the team fights around the Roche pit. By the time those team fights came, and by the time the amazing impales from Chu came, like, it was already over.
That means that with game one already over, NaVi, some people unexpected to this outcome, are a game ahead of Gambit. So the score is 1-0, but it's a best of 3. You need at least 2 games. Well, you actually need 2 games. That's how this maths works to go through. Empire tapping their foot patiently, or maybe impatiently, waiting for an opponent. But they're going to have to wait at least past a short break and then into game 2. We'll be back in a few minutes to see if NaVi can just storm on into that lower bracket final, or if Gambit have had enough, they're ready to bounce back, and if they're ready to take this to a game 3.